What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is episode number 13 of the F1 2006. You know, I almost said F1 2018. That is a bad habit I can sometimes fall into the trap of. It's time for the Turkish Grand Prix. Check out the previous few episodes if you haven't seen them already. We had a few offers from F1 teams. We got offered a drive for first driver with Toyota in the last episode. We've now been given an offer from MF1. Again, I can never know what the long version of that name is, so I don't know, I'm just a horrible F1 fan, I'm sorry, but it's time for the Turkish Grand Prix. We won this race this time last season. Hopefully fortunes can be the same heading into this one. We lead the championship by like 12 points, I believe, so we're looking pretty good, but we can't afford to drop the ball. It's time for this race, the Turkish Grand Prix.
What a prospect we have here today. The wonderful Istanbul Park, with its incredible Turn 8, plays host to today's qualifying session.
Okay, so I'm just going to apply the setup as I always do. F1cesetups.wikifoundry.com is where I get my setups from. Not sponsored, definitely not sponsored. If you guys want to know where I'm finding my setups for this series. Some tracks, they're decent, others, they're not so great. I think it just depends on how strong the AI are, to be honest. Interesting choice of downforce for this one. The website has given me 87% on the front and then 94 on the rear. From what I remember of playing this game, playing the older F1 games around Turkey, this was kind of like a mid to low downforce kind of setup because the back straight is actually quite long and that's what you're setting the car up for, to be honest. Not many high-speed corners apart from like turn 8, to be honest. So I don't understand the need for high downforce, but we'll roll with it, and hopefully we're on the pace. If we're not, then we're taking all that downforce off. Come on. This should hopefully just about be good enough to get us through to the next session. 1:27.4. 8/10 clear of Alonso for the moment, but I tell you what, that was a very difficult lap to get in. I've been struggling, in all honesty, to get through the opening 2 qualifying sessions. I got a lucky banker lap in Q1, which got me through, but there's just so many spots on the circuit which can catch you out, so it's going to be an interesting one. We don't quite have as much advantage at some of the OP tracks we've had, but that was a really, really good lap that I just put in, and heading into Q3, where the AI tend to run less fuel than what I do, it may be a challenge to get pole.
The final shootout session is about to get underway. We've reset the clocks for the final time. This session will determine the order of a top 10 for tomorrow's race. This is the final battle for pole position. Performances in the other 2 sessions are negated.
My goodness, did you hear that engine just there? That sounded like it was absolutely revving the guts out of itself. What the hell? Montoya's pumped in a 28.9, which is probably as good, if not better than what he managed in the first 2 qualifying sessions with low fuel. Are you feeling okay? Oh my goodness, me and Alonso are on the exact same time right now. 4 minutes to go. We're about to do our final run. I'm trying to string together laps. I just keep making mistakes. The curves keep catching me out. Turn 1 is very, very difficult to get the right line in through there. It's very, very delicate, but at the moment the teammate has the ascendancy. Let's see if we can topple him. Oh, we got a perfect there. That's what I want to see. I at least want to see if I can get like second row, on the front row with my teammates. Sorry, I don't know what I was saying there. The infamous Turn 8 at Istanbul. A lot of you guys, who are maybe younger fans, probably don't even know this circuit. But this one was amazing to watch races at, amazing to drive on the older F1 games by Codemasters. I really want to see this come back in some shape or form, whether it be like DLC for classic tracks or, I don't know, I should just play it on Assetto Corsa or some other sim that would have this track, but so far, this lap has been alright. It's been a decent-ish middle sector. Third sector feels pretty handy as well. Across the line, are we going to beat our teammate or get anywhere near them across the line? 29.2 puts us P3. And this lap might be already out the window. That was not a great turn 1. Not a great exit there onto the straight. I really could have done with a good exit there. What's the sector going to be like? It is green by 4/10. I knew I did a really good sector there. Didn't think it was that good despite the mistake. We could steal pole here if we are very, very lucky. Let's hit these apex as well. Get a nice exit on the final corner. Missed the apex a little bit, but we carry the momentum nicely. Let's see, do we get pole? Is it going to be good enough across the line? No. Just missed out, but it's P2. It's a McLaren front row.
Great qualifying session. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm sure you have too. Looking at the grid lineup, there seems to be a number of intriguing battles waiting to be resolved on race day. We look forward to sharing it with you. Goodbye.
What a qualifying session. We haven't seen it be this close in quite a while now. Montoya gets his pole position. Congrats to him. It is the McLaren front row. Massa and Schumacher rounding out the second row for Ferrari. Alonso there in P5, still putting the pressure on. So all the championship rivals are pretty much where they need to be for this Turkish Grand Prix. This is going to be a really good race. I'm looking forward to it.
We're coming to you live from Istanbul Park for this year's Turkish Grand Prix.
We have a cleared grid and the drivers are ready for the off. And off they go on their parade lap.
What a good sight to see. McLaren leading the field. Let's hope for a clean battle today.
Okay, Boss thinks you should be aiming for the podium finish today. We know it's going to be tough, but try and hold your position into the first couple of corners and you should be able to get a decent first stint under your belt.
Only a podium finish? Has this race already been decided by the higher-ups at McLaren? To be fair, Montoya probably does need the win. More than what I do. I mean, what am I saying? I'm in the championship fight. Of course I need a win.
Final systems checks show that all systems are functioning within the tolerances. Have a great race.
Kind of hung out my teammate to dry here. Was a little bit slow with that formation lap, but I spent a lot of the later part of the lap getting the temps up. You can see the fronts are already dying. So let's please get this race underway ASAP. And these really are dying. Are we in the UK right now? Are we in winter? Come on.
You can really feel the tension. Go!
Good start. Oh, someone's already gone back there. They're going to jump our teammate into turn 1.
So Montoya. There's nothing to separate them as they hurtle towards turn 1.
I'm going to take this I'm going to be very silent on this first lap, if you don't mind. I want to make sure this race start is nice and secure for us. You know what? I'm gonna go off on a bit of a tangent. There's a lot of spots on this circuit which can catch you out. Not only can the curbs spin us out, there's a lot of like just undulating turns around this circuit with a lot of weird bumps in odd places, which when the tires start to degrade a little bit will be troublesome areas for us. Any of these curbs here at turn 8, an absolute no-no. And then I think the inside curb, and even the outside curb down here can catch you out. So that will be something to watch out for. You can see right there, the car just lifts off. Absolute passenger. Let's make sure our teammate doesn't overtake us. No stream OP for you, thank you very much. Look at the Ferrari coming out of nowhere. Maybe I do need to help my teammate. Oh my goodness. It is a team affair in this Turkish Grand Prix. Montoya, I need you to hold on.
That's a great lap time. Faster the race so far.
Is that a cut? There might be, to be honest. Yes, it is. It's a cut. Only a 2-second penalty, though, so not the worst. This is going to be a tough race. There's not much separating me and the front runners. Juan Pablo's going to get overtaken here. I feel like I need to help him out. But at the same time, championship. Oh, is he out? I saw sparks. I saw sparks coming from my teammate. I think it was my teammate. Yeah, Montoya's out. What a shame. Good thing I didn't slow up and try to give him slipstream anyway. Unlucky. That could have been a McLaren 1-2. That could have been us for the constructors. No wonder why he was slowing. Oh! Don't ding me again for corner cutting. That's not fair. That's not fair. No, that is really not fair. I'm not actually cutting the circuit. I'm kind of still rejoining you. Trying to keep it family friendly. This is turned into a bit of a ruckus now. This Turkish Grand Prix, it's an all-out street brawl on a permanent circuit. But Alonso has found his way up in a P3. It's been a disaster for us. Massa looks like he's going to get away with this race unless we can chase him down. We did show good pace. Now we've got to pull out all the stops.
We're getting reports of an incident at turn 9. It's Coulthard!
Alright, Massa, what's the gap? Be 5 seconds or less, please. 3.9, we can deal with that. Just caught Massa by 6/10 that sector. You feeling okay, bud? Another 4/10 taken, and what is my car doing? Bouncing off a rev limiter like crazy. Does the slipstream work from back here? I don't think so. What's going on there? We have a massive amount of pace right now. I want to overtake Massa on track. We haven't had an on-track battle for the lead in the longest time. Please don't let this be settled in the pit stops. I want to get this guy. 26.8, what is that?
Sector. You're doing well, you're blowing the fastest lap time. 0.2 seconds faster through the first sector.
Closing him in massively again. I want an amazing run off this next left-hander, and I want to overtake Massa before he pits. This is for pride. Nice exit. We are well and truly in the slipstream this time. We're going to hit the rev limiter before we get to the... Oh, I was thinking before we got to that kink. He's still holding out the gap fairly well, though. Please, Massa, stay out the extra lap. I want a battle. No! Oh, you're a coward. You are honestly a coward.
Okay, you're up front. Keep your concentration.
You guys are hopefully going to see the full effects of the overcut on this game. Everyone back in the day used to do overcuts to jump people on lower fuel loads. Massa will have had his stop and will be on heavier fuel but fresh tyres, so the balance should be interesting. That is one way to slide into the pit lane, but it'll be pretty close between myself and Massa. After that mini spin, I'm not too sure if we'll jump in, but I feel like we will gain a little bit of time doing the overcut. Oh, that's bad. .2. It's handy. Will probably be about the same kind of stop as what Massa had. So this will be close.
Leads. He's up from second. Michael Schumacher is in second.
Alonso doing the overcut on us, so he might be one to watch. Rejoining on the circuit.
Trulli's sixth. He slipped down from fourth.
Don't cross the line. I can have a look up, and we have jumped Massa. Unfortunately. Okay. Unfortunately, it's happened in the pit lane, but I suppose we were delaying the inevitable. Fisichella is P7. Surely he hasn't stopped. Unless he's literally come out of nowhere to be in this fight now, which I don't think is the case. Oh, he's gone for the move. He's gone for the move on Scott Speed. Will he make it stick, though? That is not the entrance onto the back straight that you want. Man, we brake really late into that hairpin. Oh, you were not aware of me being there, were you, Fizzy? That's P2. And honestly, oh my god, as soon as I get anywhere near someone, the engineer is just like, blah, 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 blah. Shut the hell up. Let me race. That's got to be the first on-track overtake we've made in many, many episodes, unfortunately.
First is Speed. You're second. Fisichella third. He's up from seventh.
This guy is so slow. Alright, I just got to be patient. Patience, then. Out of the way, idiot. Where's that burst of straight line speed come from, eh? Round the outside, Max Verstappen like. Don't mind if I do. Lead of the Grand Prix once again. Have fun dealing with that, Massa. Whew, now I can relax. What a stressful Grand Prix this is. On top of all the mistakes I've been making, the commentators talking over me every 2 seconds, so I can't speak coherently, you'd have no idea how off-putting that is. I actually talk when there's people screaming in your ear at the same time. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode nonetheless. This has been an absolute cracker. A Turkish Grand Prix. It always delivers. Please, Liberty Media, bring this circuit back to F1. The OG fans would really appreciate it. Crikey, just about missed that.
You've started the final lap of the race in the lead.
You're now on your final lap. Keep it on the road and bring it home in one piece.
5 seconds to Massa now. His pace is starting to drop off. This race has been ours. This has actually been so satisfying though, to claw back a race victory after what was a pretty disastrous midpoint in the race. We lost it to a very clumsy spin and a corner cutting penalty, but we've come back in what could almost be described as a champion's drive. This is race win number 8. I don't know what to say anymore.
You've done it. That's a truly momentous win. You take maximum points from this Grand Prix. Massa will hang on to finish in second. So there we have it, an amazing Turkish Grand Prix, and what a circuit. This is proving to be as unpredictable as ever.
So there we go. Very, very successful outing for us today. Another race victory. Number 8 for us today. That's a Williams that stopped on circuit there. So very unfortunate for them. Could be Mark Webber, who is now a lap down. But what a shame for our teammate. Was running in second place very early on in the race. That could have been a 1-2 for us. I don't know if that was actually slowing his pace at the start of the Grand Prix, because it did look like he was backing up the pack a little bit. But it's another race win. Fisichella didn't really score any points, so we might be overtaking Renault in the Constructors' Championship. Let's have a look now. There's the drivers. You can see the difference is 15 points now to Alonso. Schumacher getting dangerously close to overtaking Alonso, moving up into P2 in the Championship. Constructors, we are second now. 6 points behind Ferrari. We lost some points to those guys, unfortunately. Those guys just being ever consistent, getting podium after podium. No retirements for them as of late. So that is going to be quite the task, especially given that Montoya just seems to be naturally slower than those Ferraris anyway. Look at Alonso. He's tense. He knows. He knows he's in trouble in the championship. He's not in the mood to spray champagne. Still giving the crowd a wave though. And that is this episode for today, guys. The Turkish Grand Prix. I don't know why they only sometimes spray the champagne, but you know, there you go. That's fine. That is again fine. Brilliant win. Again, we're getting pretty used to seeing these emails lately, aren't we? McLaren Mercedes. This is the golden era, it seems. 2006, we are changing history, it seems, with this career mode season. But that is this episode. Let's have a look at the season results. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins. That's our 9th victory. I'm sorry, I've miscounted. 9 wins in a singular season. That is very, very dominant. I don't think I was this dominant in the Sauber career mode in season 2. I know we won a few races, but I don't think we won at 9, and there's still a good few 4 races to go, I believe, in this season. That is actually mad. The points really do lend well to just consistency, it seems. If you're in the top 4, you still get a decent amount of points, even if you seem to win almost every other Grand Prix. The lead isn't as crazy as what I'd expect it to be. But nonetheless, that's been this episode for today, guys. Really enjoying this season of F1 Championship Edition. We've gone through the lows, many, many lows of season 1, 2, 3, 4 even. You know, we had our moments as well where we just weren't consistent enough, but season 5, we are finally stringing it together. We're coming in clutch at the last possible moment before this game save dies, and we don't have any more chances to do so. But the next episode is the Italian Grand Prix. Ferrari, they'll be looking to win in front of their home crowd. Schumacher won the last race last season, so that tells to me that this will be a difficult one to win. If we can remain consistent, keep the pressure on, keep that buffer that we've got at the moment, then I'll be happy. I'm still not complacent though, because We've got how many races left? I think 4. If we, you know, have one unlucky DNF, then have a wet race or something where I can't score points, then we lose the championship lead. So I've always got to be on my game. I need to keep winning these races. I'm not getting complacent one bit. I know what this game is like. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 Championship Edition content. There's not going to be too many more episodes after this, but maybe we can do some fun challenges after the season is done with. But that's it from me. Until the Italian Grand Prix, I'll see you next time.